Draft season is in the books. The waiting is over. Week 1 is finally here, and it's not about who you drafted or where the hell you drafted them. It's about setting your lineups, who's in, who's out, and most importantly, who's going to win you Week 1. Welcome to Club Fantasy FFL. This is Start, Sit, Different Day. The road to the championship starts now. Let's get it. Why didn't it hit, Josh? We'll get these week 1 jitters out of the way right away. Hit the wrong button. It's okay. It's fine. Football is finally back. So are we. Josh Hudson, Joel Worth. I am Gator J. The show runs on your questions. Drop those start, sit dilemmas in the chat because Start, Sit, Different Day doesn't happen without you. With that, without further ado, we had breaking news this morning, fellas. Quinshon Judkins signed 4 years, $11.4 million, fully guaranteed. He won't play this week. There is a possibility he could play next week. What's your thoughts on this, Josh?
It's about damn time they got him under contract. I think that's really the biggest thing. I mean, we kind of knew it was happening. There was a lot of the back and forth about, would he go back into college, the draft? Blah, blah. He was never going back to college. That's not a thing. Could he have sat out and re-entered the draft? Yes, that is an actual thing. But missing a complete year, like that does a lot of damage. I mean, the last time I believe that actually happened was you have to go all the way back to Bo Jackson when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selected him first overall. He decided not to play, went back into the draft, and then was a 7th round pick, like absolutely tanked his value. So unless Judkins' thought process on his own skill set is like, I'm the next Bo Jackson, he needed to sign this contract. So plain and simple.
Welcome in, Joe. What do you think about this Quinshon Judkins? Are we? I mean, you got great value on him on draft season.
If you drafted late, I do have quite a few best ball teams that drafted early that had quite a bit of him. So not the best news, but it's what it is. Yeah, Quinshon Judkins is not Bo Jackson. I'm pretty confident in saying that. So I guess like we mentioned before the show, I'm a little surprised he got the fully guaranteed deal, but. Like you said, like the Browns were in a spot where they basically had to do it or they were just going to lose the 2nd round pick. That was part of the Hunter deal, I believe. So they weren't going to let that go away. So, what does it mean for his fantasy value?
Not much for the first month.
Probably it's going to take a while for him to get up to speed. Like he missed all of camp. So, I'm not looking to put him in my line. I mean, by the time the buys hit week 5, maybe he's up to speed and ready to go. Maybe.
I'd like to have him a little bit earlier than that if possible, but whatever. I don't have very much of him because I was drafting late in most of my drafts, so I did not have the option to get a hold of him. But anywho, Josh won't let me shoot too much shit today, so we'll have to move on quickly to get to a lot of these questions that are popping in. But before we do that, don't forget to hit that like, hit that subscribe over here on YouTube. If you want to get your question in the front of the line, hit that super chat button. We are whores for money. That's fine. But before we go any further, Josh, hit us with the trophy smack.
Absolutely. The fantasy football season is here. The Trophy Smack is where you want to get all of those rewards. They have trophies, rings, championship belts, all designed to tell your league mates who the real champion is. And don't forget to show your commissioner some love for the thankless jobs that they have. Hit the link in the description of this podcast and check out some of the swag that you can get for your commish and let them know that they're at least the 2nd most important person in the league behind you. All available at trophysmack.com.
Absolutely. And while you're doing that, head over to our new Discord where we're talking a lot of football. We're doing a lot of during the games, chatting back and forth, getting everybody hyped up. That is free as well. Make sure you join us over there. Real quick, injury.
Really active the last couple of days. I love it.
We had some games, so there was a couple couple of games that happened, unlike college today. Well, actually had some good games over the last couple of days. A couple injury notes going for this week as of Friday. Jalen Wright is out with a knee. Jordan James doubtful with a finger. CMC is questionable with a calf. Go figure. Quinshon Judkins questionable with a foot. Darnell Mooney questionable with his shoulder. Chris Godwin, of course, is out until at least week 5. Noah Brown questionable. Jaden Reed questionable with a foot. Dontavian Wicks is questionable with a calf. Christian Kirk is out. Isaiah Likely out. Darren Waller out. And, of course, kickers are people too. Ryan wanted me to make sure I put that in there. Tyler Bass is out and headed to IR. One quick note on this, and I put this in the show sheet for us. CMC, over under on rushing yards was 78.5 Thursday. It is already down to 65.5. So if Vegas is telling you it's a 13-yard difference, I would keep an eye on that. Any thoughts on anybody that's injured right now, Josh, before we get into these questions that are just oof.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with the CMC news, it's the bamboozlement of Kyle Shanahan, which is never fun, and it feels really risky. I saw a tweet from Andy Behrens, I believe it was early this morning, and he basically just said, your safest play is to just sit him. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about how it affects your projected scores and all this kind of stuff. Let this play out because we don't want a repeat of last year. If he goes off on your bench, you know what? Take the L. It is what it is. If you're in a guillotine league, sorry, but that's a big L. But the fact is, Shanahan has showed us his hand in situations like this. It's risky, plain and simple.
Joe, we did this last year with this exact same player. I mean, and we talked about this in the offseason about not drafting him as high. Now, he did fall a little bit. He wasn't going in the top 3, top 4, but he was still going in that first round. How many shares of him do you have, and what are you doing with him?
I have a metric shit ton of him in best ball because I thought he was great at his price of 106, 107, wherever he was going. I guess the one difference this year is that Shanahan is kind of the pessimistic one, and CMC says he's okay. So maybe that's good because last year Shanahan just didn't say anything up until game time, except to Jordan Mason, and said, oh, yeah, you're starting on Friday, and then but didn't tell any one of us. So maybe that's good. I don't know. It sucks. Like DFS, like he was in every one of my early lineups because he was just so chill. 7,300 on DraftKings. Like he was just an auto start. So yeah, now I got to make decisions on whether I want to keep him in or try and do a late swap. And now the late swap guys are probably like, there's good late swap options in the second window, but man, they're probably all going to be super, super chalky now because I think a lot of people are going to be doing that. So yeah, it sucks for DFS. That's probably the worst.
Yeah, it is what it is at this point, but you got to we're kind of becoming accustomed to it 2 years in a row here. Let's talk about our favorite matchups before we get into all of these questions real quick. Josh, I'm going to let you lead this off with our thumbnail guy here.
Absolutely. It's Travis Hunter for me. I talked about him a little bit on Wednesday. He's got a quality first matchup against the Carolina secondary. They're still extremely abysmal at their quarterback spot opposite J.C. Horn. Liam Cohen and the Jags, they traded up and spent the second overall pick on Travis Hunter. They want to showcase his skill set quite early. I'm not worried at all about how much, or more accurately, how little Travis Hunter is going to play on defense. This is a top 24 play in week 1.
Joel, your first one?
I'm going to go with Jerry Jeudy. This week, like it's week 1, so we don't know what we don't know. So I want to go to game scripts that I really like, and I really like the Cincinnati-Cleveland game script. I think both teams are going to score a lot, and like Cleveland kind of owns the Bengals at home, so I really like it for them. I like Flacco this week, but yeah, I really like Jerry Jeudy. I think this is like the Cincinnati secondaries. Josh mentioned the Carolina secondary. Cincinnati secondary is terrible. What I'm really concerned is that their run defense is going to be really brutal, but like Cleveland doesn't have the offensive line to just kind of dominate possession like that. So I think they're going to do it with short passing games. So I love Jerry Jeudy this week.
And Josh is over there throwing up in his mouth right now with all this Jerry Jeudy talk. Josh,
look, it's a great matchup. I can't even front. It is.
Who you want to talk about second real quick here, Josh?
I'm going to give some love to Roma Dunze. That Minnesota secondary gave up the most fantasy points to wide receivers last season. And quite frankly, they didn't get any better. They actually lost, and I use this term loosely, talent to free agency. And I don't see how this really changes. Flores is going to dial up a lot of different coverages and stuff to kind of throw Caleb Williams off his game. But the same way that Jared Goff benefited from having Ben Johnson in his ear, I think Caleb Williams can do the same. Ryan talked about how much he loves DJ Moore this week, and I think that same logic applies to Roma Dunze.
I love the lost talent. Keenan Allen, how you doing? Joel, who's your next guy?
Yeah, I'm going to attack
the Minnesota secondary, not the Chicago Bears.
I'm going to attack another game script I really like, and that's Indy and Miami. I'm going to take Josh Downs because that Miami secondary is probably the worst in the league, maybe one of the worst ever. I mean, they're just like Storm Duck is their best. I think they got Minka Fitzpatrick, but like a deep safety is only, or a box safety is only going to do so much for you. So I think Josh Downs is, like, as much as I hate Daniel Jones, he's better off with Daniel Jones in the lineup than with Anthony Richardson. So I want to get as much of him early in the season as I can. So yeah, I like Josh Downs as a play this week.
Yeah, I'll throw you one real quick. And he's a rookie, Emeka Egbuka, versus Atlanta. Atlanta was gave up almost the bottom end of fantasy points to wide receivers last year. Chris Godwin, Jalen Million are not going to be there. Christian Wirfs is injured. Mayfield is going to try to get the ball out early and often, and Emeka should be the guy they head to. Let's get to some of these questions real quick, and let's start off with Chris. Good morning, everybody in the chat. PPR need a running back and a flex. Options are James Cook, Kenneth Walker, Travis Etienne, and Ted McMillan. Joel, since you're the guest, let's start with you.
My flex is going to be McMillan. I like Ken Walker this week, but I guess I would probably take Walker over Cook just because that's a brutal matchup for the Buffalo against the Baltimore run defense. I don't like not starting my studs, but in this kind of, like, I'm not starting ETN under any circumstances among this group. There's just too much volatility in that running back room, but I'll flip a coin and say Ken Walker over James Cook.
Yeah, it's the same for me. It's McMillan and Walker.
I like it. Speaking of McMillan, would you sit Devontae Adams or JSN for Tet? Either one, Josh.
I would sit JSN in a heartbeat for Tet McMillan. Or excuse me, Tetairoa McMillan. Got to show some respect. I want to see how they are going to deploy JSN in this new look Seattle offense. I've talked about it all off season. Clint Kubiak runs a ton of 2 wide receiver sets. And quite frankly, JSN is an absolutely terrible boundary wide receiver. So I want to see how they're going to move him around, if they're going to move him around, or if they're going to do some of these like kind of bunch in the line of scrimmage kind of formations where he's always kind of in the slot, because pairing JSN and Cooper Kupp in this type of system makes absolutely zero sense to me. None. So I would much rather bank on the rookie in his first start against an absolutely god-awful Jacksonville secondary.
Joe?
I like JSN a lot more than Josh does, but I'm not starting him over Tet. Agreed. Devontae Adams is a tough call. Houston's a really good defense. They've got a very good secondary. I still think he's the kind of guy that they would struggle to cover just because he's such a really good route runner. So I'm going to take Adams. I'll take veteran deference here over McMillan, but it's very close.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there. I'm going to sit JSN on this one here. All right, real quick. I just talked about my thoughts on Emeka. Is he a must start this year, and how high are you in your rankings there, Joel?
I think in DFS he's going to be a must start because he's super cheap. He's like 4,600. Ranking him, I think I probably have him as a wide receiver 3. Maybe there's a lot of really good options this week, so it's tough to get a rookie who's going to be second in the pecking order behind Mike Evans into a wide receiver 2 position. But I really like him as a player. Really like him in this offense. But yeah, I think I'd probably still have him as a wide receiver 3.
Josh?
Falcons secondary is trash. Straight up. They're god-awful. And that's why they went out and spent so much on not 1, but 2 pass rushers early in the draft, because a good pass rush negates a bad secondary. By all accounts, James Pierce Jr., the kid they got from Tennessee, looks like the real deal. He's the guy that's been getting after the quarterback, whereas Walker, their first round pick, has kind of been struggling, which makes sense because he was labeled more as a tweener heading into this draft. Egbuka's fine. I think he's a top 30 option this week, no doubt. He's very easily in the wide receiver 2 flex play conversation.
I like it. I'm actually jumping him up a little bit. He's probably the back end wide receiver 2, top end wide receiver 3, especially with AJ Brown ghosting us the other night. So we'll take that and move him right on up. Cap for life. Good morning, beautiful people. Just lost Wordy and picked up Hollywood before the kickoff.
Smart play. He did his best Wan'Dale Robinson impersonation with like 6 yards per reception. It was great.
Well, the 16 targets.
And that long pass down towards the end zone. If that was Xavier Worthy, that would have been a touchdown. So bench the Raiders, Tyquan Thornton Jr. or Higgins from the Texans.
I'm benching Thornton. That's good. That guy's just got wind sprints written all over him.
Yeah, that's kind of how I look at Thornton Jr. I know people are hyped for him. He's big, fast, like it's very DK Metcalf-esque. This offense is going to throw. I said esque, not like, shut up, Joel. But no, for me, the play is Higgins with Christian Kirk out. Yep. Nico's going to get blanketed. They're going to still throw a ton. That Rams front seven is so good. And truthfully, it's going to be a challenge for CJ Stroud to get rid of the football. I talked about this on Wednesday. He's one of my fades this week, but that doesn't mean they're not going to throw. I just don't know that they really get into the end zone. But Higgins is going to be the guy that should be the complement there to Nico Collins as the second target in that Texans offense this week.
Yeah, I don't know how CJ Stroud is going to get the ball out with that Rams front. That's going to be hard to do. Good morning, Albert. I see you over there in the chat. Appreciate you. Caesar with another one says he's surprised to see Najee Harris barely used yesterday. In fact, Haskins got on the field before Harris did, by the way. Is he droppable in shallow formats?
I don't know that he's droppable. I mean, he wasn't going to play a ton this week anyway, considering he literally did not dress for a single snap during the preseason. He's dealing with the eye issue. Like this is basically his preseason week 1. So I never once fully expected Harris to be much of anything. Now, given the fact that it is a shallow league, I'm fine dropping him, but I mean, I still think he's going to have plenty of value this season.
Yeah, I am in no way surprised to see that he was barely used. So yeah. unless you drafted before the 4th of July and didn't know this was coming, if you drafted him, you shouldn't be looking to drop him because this should be completely expected.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm probably one of the biggest Najee Harris supporters out there. I really like the fact that he was going to a run-first team, and that worked out really well, even for Amari and Hampton. So they did not run the ball very much last night. I will throw this one up here. I think I already know Joel's answer to this, but it's Jaden Reed or Josh Downs. Jaden Reed is questionable again with a foot issue. So, Josh, I'll let you lead this one off and tell me why it is not Josh Downs.
No, I mean, it is Josh Downs. I love me some Jaden Reed, but everything that I've heard about the foot injury that he's dealing with is like Jones fracture adjacent, and that's just not a good phrase you want to hear with a foot injury.
No.
There's a real chance Jaden Reed's inactive this week. I'm not starting. No way.
I don't think this one really matters right now. AJ Beer or Hunter. I believe the answer is always going to be Hunter.
I'm guessing it's more of like a dynasty trade. That's because he did follow up with,
he does say dynasty. Yeah. So let's do it 2 ways. Let's do it as a trade and let's go season long.
I mean, season long for me is still AJ Brown. Like I'm not that worried about the hamstring issue. Hunter's still the second target in this offense. We still have no idea how much defense he's going to play. I personally think that, even if they're giving him 30% of the defensive snaps, there's a chance that maybe he only plays 12 games this year. Like, it's just the physicality of the NFL is so incredibly different than college football. He's not going to be able to play 120 snaps a game the way that he was doing in college. It's just not possible. So season long AJ Brown for me. Overall in Dynasty, I have zero issue making this deal. I mean, AJ Brown is 28. He's been dealing with a hamstring issue. He's going to be fine in that offense. But the way that they're talking about Hunter and utilizing him within this Jaguars offense, I'm perfectly fine making this deal. Maybe, get a sweetener on top like Hunter plus for AJ Brown. I'm okay doing that and set yourself up for the future.
Wow. Yeah, season long, it's 100% AJ Brown. Dynasty, if you're not going to compete this year, sure, I'm okay flipping AJB for Hunter. I'd probably want a little bit of a sweetener on there, but yeah, it depends. It's really team context dependent.
All right, so then the I didn't see this yet, but there's Cap for Life is saying that he's hearing that AJ Brown has a hamstring issue. Josh, you're not in Philly, but you are.
Yeah. No, I touched on this in the chat. So this is why AJ Brown didn't play throughout the preseason. He was dealing with a hamstring injury. So this was not news. Like, you can look and watch him run these routes on Thursday night. Some of the routes you could tell he was kind of going not full speed. I don't want to go so far as saying half speed because that feels disrespectful, but he was looking a little labored. Now, again, I don't know whether it was just because, hey, I'm not getting the ball in this route, so I'm just going to kind of run more of like a clear out kind of thing. But maybe there is some ramp up period that needs to be done, right? Like, it's very difficult in the NFL to go from 0 to 60 like that. So I'm not worried too much about this. Hamstring injuries obviously are sticky. They're not good. He missed 3 or 4 games last season with a hamstring injury. So the fact that he's dealing with it right now, it's definitely not a great sign. But it's just one of those things where you just really need to pay attention and be cautious.
Dallas also went, at least Eberflus went completely against tendency on Thursday night too, because he
played a lot of zone.
He's normally a heavy blitz and play man behind it kind of defensive coordinator, and they played exclusively zone. I think they played 0 man snaps. So he basically took the Packers playbook from week 1 last year, where they just didn't blitz and tried to contain Hurts. Didn't work. But so I'm not surprised that Devonta or AJ Brown didn't have good weeks, because I think that it just confused the Philly offense a little bit, and they just
it confused me too, because I was expecting a good game from both those wide receivers.
I was too, yeah. I was totally on Devonta this week, but yeah, I was on Devonta because I didn't like Brown because he had no preseason ramp up and he was coming off the hamstring. So yeah, I'm not surprised that Brown did not have a good game.
I started both of them, and
so basically you're the jinx here. All right, thanks.
They still won.
TreVeyon Henderson, Jerry Jeudy as a flex, Joel.
As much as I like Jeudy, I'm still starting TreVeyon. Prefer the running back here.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm so hyped for TreVeyon Henderson this week.
So
freaking hyped.
You don't think that there is the possibility of Ramondre Stevenson still being?
I know there's a possibility. I'm 100% very much in that realm. Like, Stevenson is going to lead this team in carries this year. Like, that is what people don't want to realize. We've talked about that quite literally all offseason from the moment that TreVeyon Henderson was drafted. My co-host on NPI, Joe Zolo, lives and breathes the New England Patriots. He has lived through the entire Belichick era, all of McDaniels as an offensive coordinator. This is what McDaniels does. McDaniels will lean on a hammer. That hammer is Ramondre Stevenson. TreVeyon Henderson is going to be sprinkled in, but as you saw, he's also a threat as a kick returner. So those are bonus points there, but he's not going to just be pulled completely from the offense. You could make the argument he's the best pass catcher on that entire offense. So they're going to throw him the football, and that's what we want in fantasy football. Targets are worth more than carries, and TreVeyon Henderson is going to get a ton of targets this season. Plus, he's actually a better red zone runner than Ramondre Stevenson. So while Stevenson might have 200 plus carries, there's a solid chance that TreVeyon Henderson actually scores more touchdowns this season than Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah, like Ramondre may get the ugly carries, like the between the tackle stuff. He may fall into a couple of touchdowns and vulture, and that may be frustrating. But I agree with John. I mean, Henderson may be the best pass catcher on this team, assuming Diggs gets, Diggs is kind of slow to ramp up coming off the ACL. He's like an exponentially better James White. So yeah, I think he's going to be. I think he will be the most valuable offensive player on this team. And yeah, I just want the running back over the receiver if they're close into flex.
Caesar says in a dynasty, he traded Chuba Hubbard for Tyler Warren and a fourth non-tight end premium. And would you flex him over Waddle? He has Kittle as his starter. Start with you, Joel.
I think that trade is fine. If you're looking for, if you don't have a tight end and you're looking for some positional advantage, I think that's fine. Just giving up a mid-tier running back for a potential positional advantage at tight end. That's fine. No problem with that. Even in non-tight end premium. Would I flex him over Waddle? No. I'm not flexing a rookie tight end over an established wide receiver.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. In a vacuum, I don't mind Warren over Waddle just because we've seen the inconsistencies when it comes to Waddle. If you guys were listening on Wednesday, this was actually my fantasy game of the week, was the Miami Dolphins versus the Colts. I think these are two really bad defenses, and they have some offensive pieces that can draw this game well above the over, which on Wednesday was 46.5. There's going to be plenty of fantasy points scored this week. And I think we're going to see a really healthy dose of Jalen Waddle, especially because the Colts don't have anybody in that secondary that can cover him or Tyreek Hill. On the flip side of that, there's nobody in that Dolphins secondary that can cover Tyler Warren. So I think both these guys are going to see good games. You just have a much higher opportunity with Waddle because he can very easily average 20 yards per reception.
Real quick, Jamie, what's going on, brother? Hey, Wendy, how you doing? Great show Thursday night with the Sneaky Flex girls, Mason and Rowan. Good job. What's up, Cat for Life? I am not everywhere. It's the first time back in a while. Ryan W. He effed up and desperately needs advice. I didn't draft the defense because I am me. It turns out no waivers until week 2, and MFL won't let me create a lineup without a defense. He goes on to say, do I trade or do I take a 0 and lose week 1, or do I trade Stevenson and Ayuk for the Denver defense? There will be 2 other teams taking a 0 in this week, if that matters. Josh.
I mean, Stevenson and Ayuk are both depth pieces, so you're not really giving up any legitimate value. Ryan, we've talked about this throughout this offseason. That Denver defense has a legit beginning of the season schedule. I'm okay making this trade, as weirdly as that sounds.
In a very shallow league, like, you may end up having to cut Stevenson and Ayuk before you get to Ayuk coming back. So, yeah, I'm fine making this deal. I don't want to take a 0 in week 1. No way.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, don't take a 0 in week 1. Get rid of your depth for right now. You know, you can always go back and get them later. Jake says he dropped Jaden Blue, and I'm going to screw this. Say it for me, Josh. Kyle
Manungai.
There you go. Thoughts on that?
I think my favorite phrasing of this was when Joe read it for the first time and called him Kyle Monogamy. Love it. At least I didn't. And that might be my favorite nickname, honestly.
I am looking back at a Ryan does help us out for Saturday mornings with the injury report. Kyle Monungai is questionable this week, as well as Jaden Blue is out.
And so is Roshan Johnson.
Was out, I guess. Say that again.
I said, and then Roshan Johnson's also questionable. So, look, you dropped Jaden Blue because he was inactive. Like, this is what happens with rookies. But when you look at the Dallas running back room, like, Javonte is the guy. They were using Miles Sanders. He broke off the long 49-yard run. Maybe Jaden Blue, if he's able to break off that run, scores because he's just faster. But who's to say that he doesn't run into the back of the tackle or something before he can even bounce it outside? So there's that aspect. That said, I trust the running back room in Chicago more. So I think I'd rather have Munungai personally.
I'll take the other side. I'll remind you back a couple of years ago that Devon Achane, I'm now comparing the two, but Devon Achane was inactive for his first game and had a pretty good rookie year. So I'm not worried about Jaden Blue being inactive whatsoever. Javonte Williams scored 2 touchdowns. He did not look good. He looked like the Javonte of old. If they would have had Jalen Carter, I think his line would have been worse than Isaiah Pacheco's last night. So I still don't think I still think the Dallas defense is bad. I still think they're going to have to throw a lot. I don't think what I saw in week 1 takes me off of my priors in any way. So I don't think Kyle Munungai is good. So I would rather have Jaden Blue.
I do want to go back real quick for Jake. Herbert, we all slept on him. He looks like the truth. Real quick thoughts on how Herbert looked last night down there in Sao Paulo.
I thought Herbert was fantastic. He looked great. I think they said he was only the 3rd Chargers quarterback to throw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in a game. And then the other 2 were Dan Fouts, and then Phillip Rivers did it twice. Yep. I think really what surprised me more than anything wasn't so much that Herbert did that, because we know how much he can throw the football and how well he can throw the football. It's just that Greg Roman actually called that many more passing plays than running plays. That to me was the most surprising thing. Now, I have been very vocal about how I am not on the Omarion Hampton hype train. I've been very vocal about that. We talked about it on Wednesday. Omarion Hampton wasn't going to be a top 20 back this week. By all accounts, that will probably hold up. I think he only had 8 fantasy points total. But there were times, like there were a couple runs that he had where if he actually had good vision, he could have bounced that for like 25 yards. And that was my biggest issue with him coming out, is that very similar to Isaiah Pacheco, he has good speed, but he runs so hard that he can't react fast enough to hit the hole properly. So, which goes back to my comp for him was fast Najee Harris. That's exactly what we saw. I'm just throwing that out there. So the fact that they got Keenan Allen. What's up, Joel?
Sorry, I was just going to say that. I was literally just going to say that I'm going to get crucified for this, but Hampton looked like glorified Isaiah Pacheco last night.
Exactly. Thank you. So, like, it just really, I don't know, it kind of came from fruition, but the Chiefs have a good run defense. Like, so that really wasn't that surprising that he struggled. But I am curious to see how he gets going, because a running back like that needs that 80%, 75% running back share. Once Najee gets going, that's going to be difficult to get. So if I had Hampton looking at week 1, I'm not fretting yet, but the caution lights are on. That's kind of how I would look at Hampton.
Getting back to the original crowd, I was not sleeping on Herbert. And like, if you go back to last year, after their bye, they were fairly pass heavy, at least a lot pass heavier than we expected the Chargers to be. Now, so the question was, would they maintain that, or just since they drafted a running back in the first round? I think the assumption became that they would just go back to the, Greg Roman running back tight end offense. They were pretty wide open, basically the way they were after their bye last week. So yeah, I think like Herbert legitimately could be a league winner this year.
Yeah. And I think what we really saw though, like when they went out and got Keenan Allen, they were throwing literally to all 3 of those guys, Allen, McConkey, Quentin Johnston. That could end up being the staple where all of those guys week in and week out are seeing 6+ targets. And if that's the case, this is going to be a really balanced team, and Justin Herbert's probably going to end up finishing as the top 7 quarterback in fantasy.
Yep.
Yeah, to Joel's point, when I looked at his stat line at the end of the night, I realized during the game how much they were throwing, but I went back and looked at last year thinking, okay, he's probably only got 2 or 3 games that he threw that many times. And literally from the bye week, like Joel said, it was like 3 games that he didn't throw over 30 times in the game. And I thought that was pretty interesting, as much as we thought of the Chargers as being such a run heavy team. Very, very interesting point for me. Jamie says Tillman can have a good game with Flacco chucking the ball down the field versus a horrible Bengals D. Are you taking Pittman or Tillman?
Go ahead, Joel.
I like Tillman. I like the entire Browns off, but I like Njoku. I like Judy, like I mentioned before. So I think Tillman's just kind of third in line at best for targets. So I think Pittman's just a lot safer bet here. And a similarly very good game script.
Thoughts there, Josh?
I like Tillman as a player. I'm just not of the narrative that Flacco is going to be chucking the ball as much as people think. I think this week that may come to fruition, so I'm okay going with Tillman. But all offseason, what they've been talking about is, quote, getting back to Stefanski ball. Stefanski ball doesn't throw the football, plain and simple. Like, Joe Flacco's there because he can do basically anything and everything that Stefanski needs him to do. What he needs him to do is just hand the fucking football off to the running backs. That's what he needs to do. So I think really your best pass catching options this week for the Browns are Njoku and Judy. Tillman might be lucky to see 5 targets, if I'm being honest. That's just really kind of how I see that. I think that the Colts are going to get Tyler Warren very heavily involved, and that's going to cut into Pittman's overall target share. But what Tillman does so much better than Pittman is get down the field. And because of Flacco's arm, that at least lends itself to some bigger play opportunities, which is why I'm okay leaning Tillman in the flex.
Speaking of Jerry Jeudy and the Cleveland Browns, need one to start at flex, half PPR, Pollard, Calvin Ridley, Jerry Jeudy, Stephon Diggs, Travis Etienne. Joe,
I would love to start those Titans, but it's such a bad matchup this week. I wouldn't be surprised if they score like 10 points. Half PPR. I'm just looking for touchdowns. I'm tempted to go Diggs just because I think that's the better matchup and I think the better touchdown scoring opportunity. I'll say Diggs, but I don't love it.
I mean, it's half PPR. Denver actually gives up a lot to running backs in terms of passing. And I think that for as much as Cam Ward likes to push the ball downfield, he might end up having to dink and dunk a little bit more. And really, I think the 2 most valuable Titans in week 1 are ultimately going to be Chikakonkwo, the tight end, and then Tony Pollard. He's not going to get much in terms of rushing, so you're just really kind of hoping for that. But I'm with you, Joel. I think I would lean Diggs just on, him being the number 1 option there. Las Vegas, their defense. Pete Carroll always comes with a good defensive scheme, but I think it might take a few weeks before they really. Yeah, that's the biggest problem. There's not a ton of talent there. Max Crosby's going to get his, but outside of that, the secondary is just trash. So I think I'm okay going Diggs here.
All right, one more on the Browns to start off with. Or with Browns, drop Ollie Gordon or Brian Allen to pick up Judkins. There are running back limits in this league. We'll start with you, Josh.
I mean, here's the thing. None of those, Gordon or Allen, aren't going to be starters. When Judkins actually gets ready to play, he's going to be the starter. So I think really you can probably drop either of them. Probably Gordon. I think Allen is going to that Jets offense is going to be so incredibly run heavy that I want any piece of it I can possibly have.
Agreed. And with HN at 100%, like Ollie Gordon, just strictly handcuffed. So I would drop Ollie Gordon for Judkins.
Jameson Williams or TreVeyon Henderson PPR? Start with you, Joel.
That's tough. I'm gonna go TreVeyon. I'd like Jameson can bust a big one, but in PPR, I don't think he's gonna get as much volume as TreVeyon will. So I'm gonna take TreVeyon.
Yeah, I think I would lean Henderson too. I think there's more target opportunity. I am very curious because I've been saying this all off season that I do think Jameson Williams' volume goes up this year. And it's going to be at the continuing detriment of Sam Laporta. He's basically going to turn into Mark Andrews being very touchdown dependent to be relevant in fantasy. It's a division matchup this week. I think Williams will pop off. I think he'll have a good week, but it's PPR. I want the volume, and that's going to be Henderson for me.
Like, I'm leaning the under in that game pretty hard because I think both teams are just going to try and run the ball and eat clock. So yeah, I don't think there's going to be a lot of volume in the passing game. So that's why I'm in full PPR. I think I'd just rather have TreVeyon.
Sure.
Craig says, wide receiver. I think Emeka's good first week, and right now I have Calvin Ridley on the bench. Jerry Jeudy. I'm guessing this is, which one are we going with here? Out of these three,
Jeudy over Ridley, but I would have Egbuka over both of them.
I think I'm leaning the same way, Joel.
Like, I kind of love Calvin Ridley this year, but not this week. Like,
yeah, not against Patrick.
First start for the rookie against probably the best defense in the league on the road in Denver in September, where it's just really tough to play in altitude and where it's going to be 80 degrees. That's just a brutal spot for Tennessee. So that's why I'm just fading all their guys this week. So yeah, Egbuka versus Jeudy, coin flip. I like Jeudy, but yeah, I'm not going to crucify you for taking Egbuka there. I'm just kind of worried that's a Bucky game, and they lean on Bucky really hard.
Yeah, that Atlanta defense gives up a ton through the air, though. That secondary is Swiss cheese.
But I mean, they've got the worst front seven in football, so I think they could just run the ball as well.
Tyler says he accidentally started Pacheco, so if McCaffrey doesn't play, is it Dobbins, Merritt, or Ridley? Start with you, Josh.
For me, this is between Dobbins and Big Bill. I'm staying away from Merritt, Krosky Merritt, whatever the fuck his name is.
Bill.
Simply because I want to know the splits there. And quite honestly, people are going to find out very quickly that Giants front seven is going to throttle the running game. Yeah. They have an elite defensive line between Thibodeau and Burns and now Abdul Carter, and you throw Dexter Lawrence in the middle of that. Holy crap. Yeah, Washington's not going to be able to get anything going on the ground. So I think by default there, it's Dobbins for me.
Yeah, this is a smash for Dobbins. I mean, it's a great game script. Jakart, can we stop with this Bill Krosky Merritt stuff? He's an undersized 7th round rookie running back with touch competition, with double touch competition in a terrible matchup.
But Joel, they traded Brian Robinson to move him up.
Yeah, because they like Chris Rodriguez. So yeah,
they cut, mind you. Let's remember that.
Well, fine. He redid his body, the best shape of his life. There's no way I'm starting Jakari Krosky Merritt this week in any format. No chance. You would have to have a terrible effing team to start Jakari Krosky Merritt this week. Dobbins, and it's not close.
Fair. Jeff Rogers, good morning, Tyreek or Scary Terry?
Tyreek's a smash play this week.
Easy for me.
Terry coming off the holdout. Look at the guys who held out last year. Like Chase had a slow start. Lamb had a slow start. I'm fully expecting McLaurin to have a slow start. So yeah, Tyreek's a smash play this week.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's a great matchup too.
Yep.
Good morning. I eat crab cakes over there on Twitch. Should I trade Calvin Ridley and J-Mo for Pearsall and Sutton? I'll let you start this one off, Joel.
What's the point?
Yeah.
You've got 4 wide receivers that are in the same tier that you're shuffling deck chairs, whether it's on the Titanic or on a cruise ship. I don't know, but I guess what's the point of this deal?
Yeah, I mean, Williams has the boom upside that I don't think really anyone else from this group has. Ridley and Sutton are basically the same wide receiver for me. Yep. So at that point, it's J-Mo over Pearsall. So really, I'd rather have the Ridley, Jameson, Williams side, truthfully.
Yeah, I think the only difference there right now, anyway, is, and you've had this conversation on Wednesday night. I like Pearsall, although Jennings is back, just for volume, sheer volume over J-Mo. But your point is Calvin Ridley, Cortland Sutton, they are cousins. Half point PPR, Travis Etienne, Roma Dunze.
Oh, this week it's Roma Dunze.
Yeah, I mean,
it might be that for the whole season, honestly.
We just don't know what this Jags running back room is going to shake out like. And Josh mentioned it earlier. Like, I don't even think J.C. Horn is a good cornerback. I think if you like, Derek Brown is back for the Panthers. I don't think they're going to be as bad against the runs they were last year. I think you're going to have to attack them through the air. So I don't think it's a great matchup for the Jags running back. I think it's a great matchup for the Jags passing game. I don't think it's a great matchup for the running game. And it's going to be a three-headed monster. I just don't trust the volume for any of them. So yeah, this is Rome for me.
Yeah, I'm kind of avoiding really any of the Jaguars running backs unless I'm in 14, 16 team leagues where, you kind of have to just because of depth purposes. But I just want to see that room shake out. Like I'm perfectly fine rostering ETN or Bigsby or Tootin just because there's going to be value somewhere to be had. But until we get some level of data to where we can start sifting through and realizing, all right, Bigsby gets the early down work. ETN's on the field for the passing downs. Tootin is the Sean Tucker where he sprinkled in and only has 50 carries. Like until we start seeing something that lends that narrative, I'm not really trusting any of the Jaguars running backs.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you. Roma Dunze is the choice there. Real quick, remember, if you haven't already, hit that like, hit that subscribe for us over here on YouTube. You can do it on Twitch as well there. I Eat Crab Cakes. That is directly for you. One more quick time, I'll tell you, we do have the Super Chats available. They are ready for you. All you got to do is hit the Super Chat button. Throw us a couple of dollars. We will not let Joel take off his shirt, but we will answer your question immediately.
You can't stop me. You can't stop me.
Josh, one more time, give us the Trophy Smack information that the good people need to know.
Absolutely. With fantasy football here, Trophy Smack is where you want to get all your rewards. They have trophies, rings, championship belts, all designed to tell your league mates who the real champion is. And don't forget to show some love to your commissioner for the thankless jobs they have. So hit that link in the description of this podcast and check out some of the swag that you can get for your commish as well as yourself, and let them know that your league mates are at least the second most important people in the league behind you. And it is all available at trophysmack.com.
And don't forget to jump over to our Discord where we will be talking all day Sunday in our game day chat. You can always get more information from all of us and the rest of the Club Fantasy crew over there. And it is absolutely 100%, as Ryan likes to say, free. We'll get back into it real quick. PPR tight end premium. Should I start Ridley, Sampson, or Evan Ingram? We'll start with you, Josh.
Oh, tight end premium. You want Evan Ingram, hands down.
Yeah, Ingram's a smash in that format.
Yeah, is there any take the tight end premium out of it? Are we starting Sampson in any format?
No, I'm still starting Ingram.
No, I would actually start Ford over Sampson this week.
Yep.
That's exactly what I was looking for there. Getting that out of the way. Jamison, Mbike, or Monty. Flex, full PPR, Joel.
Full PPR, give me Egbuka because I think he could be a volume hog. He's the only potential volume hog in this discussion.
Yeah, it's Egbuka. If this were like standard or half PPR, I might lean JMO, but It's Egbuka in full PPR.
Yeah, if y'all got any more questions, there's a few left in the chat here. If you got any more, get them in the chat. We will get to every single one of them that are in the chat before we get off of here. Keep it going here. Jaden Reed or Greg Dortch, 32-team league. No other options. Sleepers has their predictions both around 7 points. Jamie, 32-team league. You're an insane.
Jamie, you are an animal. You are an animal. 32-team league. Holy crap. I mean, Joel mentioned it earlier. There's a better than zero chance that Jaden Reed doesn't play this week. So I think by default, I'm starting Greg Dortch, in all honesty. And that matchup is good against the terrible Saints defense.
Yeah, that's tough because you're not going to know if Reed's inactive or not. So you may have to start Dortch just to not take a zero. That's really tough.
I'd say look at waivers, but it's 32 teams. There ain't anybody on waivers.
There ain't nothing.
Yeah, there's no other options. There's no other.
Unless you can make some kind of
like
early, before the game start kind of, last minute trade. But yeah.
I like this question here from Kyle. He's got Josh Allen. He's wondering if he should go full Hail Mary here to put Coleman and Shakir, or should he trust the start of Myers and or Ollie Gordon. Start 2. He had Pickens and Worthy going, and he's a 35% win right now.
Oh, that's rough with Pickens and Worthy. Shit. I mean, I think with going for that, you kind of need the Hail Mary. I would trust Shakir a lot more than Coleman. He's going to see a lot more volume. Coleman's your big play guy. I know Austin on the DFS show talked a lot about Jacoby Myers and his value this week. I think that's definitely there. I think I'd still go Shakir, because really Shakir and Myers are the same person. So,
like, Coleman and Shakir are both coming off injuries. Coleman got dinged up at practice this week because Shakir's coming off that high ankle sprain. I think Myers is your upside guy, just because there's a chance, like, they don't have the Patriots don't have Christian Gonzalez. Like, that could trickle down and just affect their entire secondary. And maybe this game shoots out and Myers gets, a touchdown.
Kyle does mention it start 2. He has to start 2 of these guys.
Oh, you have to start 2. Then it's probably, I'm not touching Ollie Gordon. I would
Myers
go with,
and then one of them.
Yeah, Myers and Shakir, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Myers and Shakir.
Yeah, the only concern I would have with Shakir, I mean, you can't start Coleman with the Ravens.
Josh Palmer's taking that job.
That's what
I don't know why people are ignoring Josh Palmer.
And it's a brutal matchup. Like, Josh Allen has never had good games against Baltimore ever. So
right, and Baltimore added this offseason to that secondary with Jair Alexander, Malachi Starks. It's just going to be super hard for Buffalo to get anything out of Coleman. I don't like that matchup at all. Jeff Rogers, should I trust CMC if he plays, or just start Pollard or Jordan Mason to be on the safe side? Joel.
If he plays, I'm starting. Yeah, if CMC plays, if he's active, I'm starting him. No way. They're not going to play him if he's in any danger. If he's active, he's good to go. So I'm starting CMC if he plays.
So CMC is at 405.
Yep.
Pollard is also at 405, and then Mason's at 815. Yeah, you're fine. Wait it out for CMC. If he plays, you're playing him. No question in my mind.
Yep. Agreed.
I would be fine with the pivot to Mason over Pollard. I do want to preface that.
Okay.
If he's only if he's inactive.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter, Ricky Pearsall, Josh.
Oh, Travis Hunter.
Joel.
Yeah, I'm going to lean Hunter. If CMC is inactive, then I would have some interest in Pearsall, but as is, I'm starting Hunter.
We're going to get through these last couple here. Jonathan, what's up, fellas? Need a flex between JMO, Calvin Ridley, Travis Hunter, PPR. Start with you, Joel.
PPR, I want Hunter. I want to attack that Carolina secondary.
Yep, Travis Hunter. That's
Same
the
there.
theme of the show. You're starting Travis Hunter.
That is why you have him on the thumbnail there, Josh. Taj Brooks, Blake Corum, Damian Pierce, another 32-team league. No options.
Man, I thought you were an animal for playing in one 32 team. You are a straight-up degenerate having more than one. Holy crap, Jamie. Damn.
We'll see you every Saturday, Jamie. How you doing?
I love it. Yeah, it's Damian Pierce.
Yeah, it's Pierce for me.
Pierce. Crazy that Joshua had the whole script memorized. Love trophy smack. Yes.
Definitely not memorized.
David Montgomery, Rome Odunze, or Matthew Golding in a flex full PPR, Josh?
I do like Matthew Golden this season. I do want to kind of pump the brakes a little just early on. I really kind of want to see it and how that wide receiver room in Green Bay is going to shake out. So I'm going to play the matchup and give me a Odunze this week.
Joe.
I'm nervous about the Packers trying to slow this game down. I still think Golden is going to be the unquestioned leader of their wide receiver room. So PPR, I definitely want him over Montgomery, and I will lead. There's a chance that Odunze is like the third in line in the target packing order there. So
I don't think third line.
I don't think he is either, but I think there's a chance. And Minnesota's got a very good defense. They could pressure Caleb Williams, and that could be ugly for them. Not that Detroit can't, but I think Jordan Love's in a better position to handle it than Caleb Williams is. So I'm going to lean Golden.
Let's get through these rapid fire poker guts. I see your question. I'll come back to you in just a second. Let's get over here. I have Amon-Ra St. Brown, JSN, JMO, and Diggs in a 12-man PPR league with 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Who should I bench? I was leaning towards JMO starting over Diggs, but I'm not a fan of the 2 Lions starters. Start with you, Josh.
I have Amon-Ra, JSN, JMO, Diggs. I mean, I'm fine starting both the Lions, truthfully. Those 2 operate very independent of themselves anyway. Like Amon-Ra is more the volume guy. JMO's the big play guy. I mean, and I like kind of mixing and matching that because when you look at their games, Amon-Ra and JSN are the exact same. So I don't know that I would want to start both of them and then leave off potential boom opportunities that JMO offers. And again, Diggs is very much in that same realm. Volume, not a ton of big plays. I would sit JSN. That's what I would do.
Joel, sit
I really like JSN this week, so I'm starting him. There's no way you're benching Amon-Ra here. So you're sitting 2 and starting 2? Is that the deal? Oh, yeah. 2 wide receivers and a flex.
In a flex, yeah.
I'm going to agree that I don't like starting 2 Detroit guys. So I'm going to definitely start Amon-Ra. I'm going to start JSN. I'm going to start Diggs. And I would bench JMO, but that's tough. Much better options than Jamie's 32 team.
Griffin says, should I accept the trade, James Conner for Kittle? He would be getting Kittle.
I would get Kittle in a heartbeat.
Yeah, even in a non-tight end premium, I think that's tough to pass up.
But I mean, also too, like, who is your other tight end and who are your other running backs? Like that plays into it. Like in a vacuum, yeah, I want Kittle, but does it make more sense to hang on to Connor? Like,
yeah, if it's going to leave you destitute at running back, I'm not doing it. But in a vacuum, I like Kittle.
Jamie, in a deeper Superflex league with big benches, are you stashing Carson Wentz because of the Vikings offense?
Yes. In a big bench, yeah, for sure. I'm stashing as many good quarterbacks or as many backup quarterbacks and good offenses as I can.
Yeah, especially in a Superflex league. Yeah.
In Superflex, yeah.
Okay. Griffin says his team is Jaden Daniels, Jefferson, Sutton, Henry, Cook, Warren, Connor, Bates. Vikings defense benches DJ Moore, Mbike, Ridley, Travis Etienne, Ollie Gordon, Brian Robinson, Godwin, and Rice are on the IR. He also has Ertz, and he wants to know, start Sutton, Moore, or Mbike non-PPR.
Go back to the team.
Yeah, what's the team now? Let me see. Jefferson, Sutton.
I love Sutton this week. I think that's a great matchup against Tennessee. Yeah, so if it's only one, I want Sutton.
Yeah, so, at that point, you're banking on touchdowns.
Yeah, it's non-PPR. So, yeah, I want the touchdown equity.
I mean, I still think DJ Moore has plenty of touchdown upside.
It's a better matchup.
There's a lot more. I do think there's a lot more options. Well, actually, that's not even true because Sean Payton's going to fuck all of us and, like, throw the ball to some random ass like fifth stringer.
Adam Troutman, baby.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what it's going to be. Yeah, Sutton wide open for the fade. Oh, Adam Troutman. What? Yeah, I think I would lean Sutton. Yeah, there's a lot of really good wide receiver matchups all over this week, and you've got a lot on this team because I think all 3 of these guys would be good even in non-PPR. But yeah, Sutton feels the safest, I would say.
Appreciate you, Jamie, for the $2 super chat. You guys rock. Keep grinding and welcome back to me. Not to you, Josh. To me. To me.
That's because I've been here all summer. All right? So fuck off.
You can't welcome back the guy who's never gone.
Right. You can't do that. You can't do that. Keenan or Keenan Allen rest of the season?
Keenan.
Yeah, I don't think that's even close.
Well, he may not make it the rest of the season. I still want him over
question because of Keenan Allen's age. But I really think that we saw the rapport between Allen and Herbert has gone nowhere, even after a season off. Like,
They picked up
Gone
right
nowhere.
where they left off. I think.
Yeah, and
I
Coleman
think
still has a lot to learn about being a wide receiver.
Yeah, I think
The
Keenan
floor
Allen
is so much higher with Keenan.
Going back out to LA, he found that fountain of youth again out there, and his name is Justin Herbert. You mentioned earlier about clowns getting back to the running the ball. Would you start Sampson over Tillman?
No, I'd still start Tillman.
Being in the Northeast Ohio area, the reporting on Sampson has not been good. He's small. It's like Josh said earlier, he wants Ford over Sampson this week. I agree 100%. I think even with like the Judkins signing is really bad for him because by the time he may get ready to integrate himself into the offense, Judkins may be ready to go. So Sampson may be at 0 this year.
That's crazy. Everybody keeps talking about these Tennessee players and not translating in the NFL. Where did Sampson play? Oh, Tennessee.
Jalen Wright alert.
Exactly.
Have to drop one. Ollie Gordon, Ramondre Bigsby, or Mooney for a kicker. Who should he drop?
Gordon for me.
Yeah, I'd probably say Gordon too, which hurts because, God, I'd almost rather take a 0 at kicker. No, you got to find a 11th hour 2-for-1 trade. That's what you got to do.
We get over here real quick. Poker Guts. I have Xavier Worthy. If Xavier Worthy is cleared to go next week, my next best option is probably Tyler Warren in a flex. Do I go with Warren, especially if he produces this week?
I mean, if he's producing, it's fine by me. They're going to use him like a wide receiver. So,
Man, Chiefs got the Eagles next week. So even if Worthy gets cleared, which is pretty questionable, I would say.
But you know what everybody's going to point to? Oh, he had 8 for 153 and 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But the way that they're talking about this Worthy shoulder injury is that it's going to be
bad.
a multiple-week thing. Yeah, it looks bad.
All right, I got to go pick on myself because everybody else is doing it because evidently I'm not saying it right. Is it
Egbuka?
Embuka.
Egbuka.
Egbuka. That's what I'm saying, isn't it?
Egbuka. No,
Okay.
You're seeing the
MBK.
complete opposite, it feels like.
Probably. If I trade away Connor for Kittle tomorrow, who do you think you should flex on the team? Oh God, I got to go back and find the team now. Where is the team?
Well, this was the trade question that we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah, where is the team? Griffin, did you drop the?
I believe he did. That's how I'm trying to find it right.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, there you go. All right, so his question here,
Connor.
if he trades away Connor for Kittle today or tomorrow, who do you think the flex should be on the team? I plan on trading for Hampton, so I have an RB3 next week.
Well, so your starters, Jaden Daniels, Justin Jefferson, Cortland Sutton, Derrick Henry, James Cook. Assuming there's only one flex, you can basically rotate between DJ Moore, Egbuka, Ridley, Hampton in this case.
Ridley's going to have better matchups and be a starter at some point.
Yeah,
so
100%. Yeah, I mean,
you're fine.
Ridley came in, I think, as my wide receiver 18 or 19 on the season in my projection. So I'm high on Ridley this year.
I mean, you got Henry, Cook, and Warren. You're fine at running back. Plus Robinson. Plus, you got ETN. You're fine at running back. I don't necessarily think you need to trade for Hampton if you don't want to.
I'm with that.
Kind of seems like he wants to, though. So
yeah,
no, that's fine. If you can get a good deal on him, I have no problem with it. But I don't think you need to because I think you've got viable options at RB3.
Appreciate the subscribe there, Griffin. Also to Poker Guts, thanks for the subscribe and the like. Make sure you get to tapping that like. And here we go. I was saying MBK, not MBK.
Egbuka.
That's Egbuka.
Like hookah.
There you go.
All right, last one. Stop picking on me, damn it. All right, let's get out of here on this. My quarterback's 85. Tucker Kraft is tight end. Need 2 running backs, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex. CMC, Brian Robinson, Chan, Ollie Gordon, Henderson, Chase Brown, and his wide receivers are Sutton, Wilson, You ready? Egbuka.
It's Egbuka. Good God.
Yeah, that time I did it on purpose. Pearsall and Diggs. Egbuka.
Oh my God. All right. What are we doing here? 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, 2 flex.
Oh, so
so
I screwed that up. I don't blame you.
Oh my God. All right. Let's see. I mean, it's CMC Achane for me.
Yep, 100%.
If CMC
plays.
Obviously.
Yep.
Wide receivers. Honestly, I would start Sutton and Egbuka at wide receiver. 2 flex. I would start the running backs Henderson and Chase Brown.
Yeah, I would still start Garrett Wilson over Egbuka, but that's a coin flip. Tough matchup for Wilson. But yeah, it's CMC if he plays, and then HN. Those are your 2 starters for sure. Chase Brown is absolutely in your lineup. Sutton's in your lineup. And then, yeah, whichever of those wide receivers.
That's a really good roster, Quincy.
Absolutely.
These are A+ champagne problems, baby.
First world problems.
Last one. We got to get this in here. It's a 2 quarterback league. Daniel Jones, Spencer Rattler, Joe Flacco, or Aaron Rodgers for his second quarterback.
Not Aaron Rodgers. Here, I got numbers.
Anybody.
Just listen to this. Aaron Rodgers in his last 4 season opening games, 50 for 83, 495 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions. And included in there is a game where he tore his, yeah, that's fine for 1 game. That's 3 games and 1 game where he had 3 snaps and a torn Achilles. He is terrible in season openers. Do not start Aaron Rodgers. This is Flacco and Daniel Jones.
I agree.
Yeah, let's get the hell out of here. It's been over an hour. I've been picked on enough. My comeback has not gone the way I thought it was going to go. That's all fine. Now, if you guys have more start-sit questions or questions about specific players, please do not hesitate. Jump over to the Discord group. We have plenty of people in there to answer those questions as well. Our upcoming shows look like this Sunday. Oh, Captain, My Captain, DFS Showdown and the preview. That's at 9 a.m. Monday. We also have another DFS show at 9 a.m. And then Josh and I will be back with Ryan at 11 o'clock on Monday with Monday's Anxiety, where we get to bitch and moan and groan about all the action that happened over the week, as if I haven't already started doing that. Tuesday, Wiretapped with Ryan and Josh. Sideline Banner, the women of fantasy football, join in at 10 p.m. I'm sorry, the waiver wire show is at 11 a.m. if I did not say that right. Wednesday night, the flagship, no punt intended, at 9 p.m. Thursday, Oh Captain, My Captain is back for the Thursday. That's for Sunday, right?
No, it is a Thursday.
Yeah. It is for Thursday. Okay. And then we have the Sneaky Flex, the best 15 minutes in all of showbiz. That is at what, 7 or is that 6:15? 6:45 rather. For them, Friday is the DFS Academy with the Sunday slate. Man, this has been fun. Thank you guys for joining.
And shout out to all of our followers, subscribers. In the last month, we've added close to 200 new subscribers to our YouTube channel. So shout out each and every one of you. Appreciate you guys and girls riding with us. It's going to be a fun season, and we love churning out content. We don't just do this during football season. We do it year round. So
you're well, unless you're me, evidently.
Such a snowbird, Jay. God.
Snowbird thing. I am from Florida.
There you go. New nickname, Fantasy Football Snowbird. That's you.
That's it. I want to thank everybody in the chat for hanging out with us. Don't forget, you can always subscribe over there on Apple, whatever, Spotify, Amazon Music, all of those kind of things. And the best part is you can always speed up and you can hear me say Egbuka.
There you go.
There you go. I said it right that time. I can't believe it. Josh, thank you so much. Joel, thank you so much, guys. We are done. Enjoy your weekend. Welcome back to football.